Katseye might be a group loved by many, but it's also impossible to ignore the amount of criticism that has been aimed at them, not just based on their public image, but also behind-the-scenes work from HYBE. Katseye had possibly one of the strongest debuts of a 5th-gen act, with the members showing clear potential in performance, personality, and global appeal. Yet the further they get into their career, the more fans feel the company is burying that potential under confusing creative direction, questionable promotional tactics, and a reliance on shock value. The frustration has been building for months, and it reached a peak after the debut of their newest song at the Minneapolis show. While Internet Girl was probably supposed to be an exciting moment for both the girls and the fans, it instead sparked internet-wide backlash that spread across social media within hours. When the fan-recorded clips from the concert started making rounds, the criticism seemed to come from all corners of the internet, even from those who might have previously defended the group and their unique sound. Many netizens complained that the song felt incoherent and directionless, with some even saying that it sounded like it was written specifically to provoke rather than entertain, perhaps even intentionally being a kind of rage bait track designed to go viral for the wrong reasons. But what frustrated fans most wasn't even the song itself, it was the pattern. Each comeback since their debut has swung wildly in style, tone, and concept, making the group feel like they have no stable musical identity. Fans have been saying things like, "Katseye has everything you could want in a group except good songs," and others complain that the music seems targeted toward the youngest demographic possible, leaving older fans with nothing to connect to. Many people's disappointment quickly turned into suspicion toward HYBE, with many accusing the company of sabotaging the group's artistic identity, especially with how talented and charismatic the members are, meaning they should have been given the opportunity to dominate their generation with quality tracks. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into K-pop's most discussed topics, and make sure to let us know how you feel about Katseye's situation in the comments down below. What's worse is that this ongoing dissatisfaction has also made the group extremely vulnerable when other controversies arise, and the Grammy nominations made the situation even more tense on social media. On paper, being nominated for Best New Artist and Best Pop Duo Group Performance should have been a celebrated moment, yet it immediately became overshadowed by accusations circulating online. A portion of the public questioned whether the recognition was earned naturally or influenced by industry power dynamics, while others speculated that HYBE's connections, particularly through HYBE America's leadership, may have possibly played a role, and soon terms like HYBE Payola were trending. And while supporters rushed to defend the group by highlighting their streaming numbers, stage presence, and international fan engagement, the damage was unfortunately already done. The nominations were instantly treated with skepticism in some corners of the internet, and that skepticism fed neatly into the broader narrative that HYBE wasn't building Katseye's career on artistic integrity or organic growth. The issue has nothing to do with Katseye's actual work ethic and dedication, which is why so many fans are extremely disappointed that things have progressed so far. They feel as if HYBE was pushing the group in a direction that made their achievements look manufactured rather than earned. Fans also argue that when the company already seems unable to give them a coherent discography, it becomes much harder for the public to believe that prestigious accolades came from genuine industry respect rather than corporate influence. Even fans who were proud of the nomination seemed to find it difficult to celebrate wholeheartedly because it felt like yet another instance where HYBE created controversy instead of protecting the group from it. All of this was happening at the same time that concerns about the members' styling, especially Yoonchae's, were escalating into a full-blown alarming situation. From her debut, her outfits had raised eyebrows, but fans initially brushed them off as a few isolated styling choices. Then, during the Gabriella era, the line between confident performance and inappropriate presentation seemed to blur, and when the dance practice and performance clips dropped, fans reacted with visible discomfort, saying that the choreography and styling were close to pushing some very necessary boundaries. Even those who normally support bold fashion started calling out the company, saying that the issue wasn't whether Yoonchae actually felt confident in what she was wearing, but it was the fact that she was being visually exploited, as the public eye is impossible to control. One sentiment circulating widely was that Katseye's concept is sometimes dressed up as edgy empowerment, but in practice, it actually seems to lean more on provocation to get attention rather than letting the girl's talent be the focus. And with Yoonchae being a minor, the concern became worse. Even people who enjoyed the styling for the adult members said they were uneasy that a 17-year-old was constantly placed in outfits that emphasized her body on stage. Some expressed feeling tricked, that HYBE had initially kept her styling a little toned down to build trust, then ramped up the exposure as soon as the group gained traction. This concern peaked during their Halloween Gabriella video, as Yoonchae appeared in a tight red bodysuit, something fans described as outright inappropriate for someone her age. Later in the same video, she wore a rainbow crop top and short shorts, which didn't help the discomfort. The criticism didn't stop at Yoonchae either, as many pointed out that Lara and Danny Danny were noticeably styled to lean into stereotypes. Danny especially, as some felt the company was relentlessly pushing a caricature onto her. Viewers said that while Danny has always had a personal style that includes showing some skin, the company was clearly ramping it up, playing into some very reductive tropes rather than letting her define her own image. And although Lara is an adult, fans felt it was obvious that her styling was veering into overdoing it as well. When the Minneapolis tour stop went viral, it wasn't the choreography or vocals that dominated online discussion, but the outfits. Tiny tops and shorts cut so high they bordered on being inappropriate. For a group whose fan base spans from young teens to adults, the styling felt jarringly misaligned with the music, and many fans saw it as HYBE doubling down on spectacle over substance. It didn't help that while international fans largely expressed discomfort, the reaction among Korean netizens was unusually positive. Clips online sparked responses praising the members' athleticism or charisma, with some commenters saying the outfits looked less skimpy because the performances were strong enough to justify them. Some called the girls beautiful athletes, which, while not malicious, can come across to international fans as missing the point entirely. It has also been quite frustrating to see how the conversation has shifted away from concerns about exploitation and toward admiring them for their visuals when international communities have been trying their best to raise awareness for this particular issue. However, by now, many protesters seem to be exhausted, as no matter how much they issue these warnings, it seems like HYBE only wants to be moving in the opposite direction, pushing the group toward increasingly revealing styling with no sign of restraint. Seeing all these choices get made again and again, it's no wonder that fans increasingly believe HYBE doesn't trust the group to succeed on the strength of their music or talent. Instead, it feels like the company uses exposure to boost attention. But the frustration doesn't stop at the way the girls dress or sound, as a deeper concern has taken hold, which has actually been an issue ever since the pre-debut days: HYBE's failure to protect its artists. Manon's situation is perhaps the most painful example, as she constantly seems to be targeted by furious or hateful users, going as far back as when their original Netflix show was filming. Without any verified evidence, an anonymous Reddit post has just recently gone viral, alleging an entire list of terrible behavior from her teenage years in Switzerland. The post described her as manipulative, toxic, cruel, and entangled in messy interpersonal drama. It even accused her of using her sexuality to emotionally harm another girl and of self-destructive behavior to manipulate friends. None of these claims were supported by any sort of evidence, none were verified by other sources, and none were addressed by HYBE, as things just seem to be allowed to live online regardless of the damage they might do. This silence is exactly what fans say shows HYBE's incompetence, because these rumors are not new, since variations of them have circulated since early in the group's career. Each time they reappear, the accusations spread through K-pop spaces, bubbling up in forums and comment sections, only for the company to ignore them entirely. This has allowed the rumors to become part of Manon's public narrative, no matter how baseless they might be. Fans argue that a single statement from HYBE could shut it down, but the company refuses to step in, leaving the idol to face wave after wave of character attacks online. Some fans believe that HYBE's silence could be strategic, and that they care less about the girls' reputations and more about the viral traffic surrounding the group. To them, a scandal, even an unproven one, keeps Katseye's name circulating, and it's clear that HYBE neither monitors what is being said about their artists nor cares enough to take action. Either way, the result is the same, as Manon remains vulnerable, targeted, and undefended even years after she made it to the other side of the survival show. This lack of protection becomes even more alarming when paired with the company's willingness to push the girls into revealing outfits. Fans see a clear pattern, as HYBE seems to prioritize controversy because it generates attention, even if that attention harms the members. The members themselves have even spoken up about how difficult it is to constantly be in a position where internet users can so easily throw hurtful and devastating comments at them, making it clear that the company is most likely doing nothing to shield them from such rumors and opinions. Fans have even pointed out just how deeply frustrating things have been for the girls due to HYBE's negligence, to the point where very real situations have become massive threats to the girls, such as Lara getting falsely reported to ICE. If such situations continue without the company doing anything to truly prevent things like this from happening, it's hard to tell just how much longer the girls can truly resist, especially as they have gone on record to say that they have to stay away from social media entirely in order to be able to live their lives. It's in no way a stable environment for the members if things are truly that awful, and if the girls aren't protected on scene nor behind the scenes, many fans fear what might happen to their mental and even physical health.